Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to have a look at the top 5 loadouts you guys want to be using currently in Black Ops 7. Now obviously you're going to have to level up a bit for some of these weapons, but once you do, they are absolutely godly and 100% the meta in the game currently. So there's a lot to get through in today's video guys, so sit back, relax and enjoy it. If you do, drop a like, subscribe if you're new and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a single video here on the channel. Now first weapon we are going to have a look at is going to be the M15 Mod 0. Now, a lot of people are stating that this is the best weapon in the game. I'm going to tell you it is not. But the first weapon, like I said, is going to be this, but we're going to have a look at the overall class loadout, what I've got rocking. So first of all, for our secondary, I am using the launcher ARC M1. The reason why I'm using this is I'm trying to get these gold and diamond, etc. And I've already completed the first launcher. Obviously, your melee is your knife. Field upgrade then is going to be the assault pack, but you want to add overclock of lucky ammo. This will allow additional score on kills, meaning you can get your score streaks a lot faster in game. Then we will be using stim shot with combat performance boost. Now if you're getting shot and you need to get out of a very sticky situation, you want to make sure you can move a lot quicker, hence why I'm using the combat performance boost. The alternative overclock for this is cleanse, and it just basically debuffs any EMPs, any flashbangs or anything like that. Then we are going to use Semtex with high density explosive. It basically just gives a bigger impact when you are throwing this. You'll see a common theme with this, so my secondary field upgrade, tactical and lethal, will stay the same throughout the course of this video. For your perks, they'll pretty much stay the same, barring one, I think, loadout, which we'll see in a moment's time. I always use Ghost, Vigilance, Dexterity, Ninja, and then we will get this Scout Specialist option. I prefer doing this, in all honesty guys, because I feel that with these perks, it keeps you stealthy and hidden and be able to maneuver around the map a lot easier. So if we look into the build, then we're going to start off with the best and only sight you guys want to be using, which is going to be the Lethal Tools ELO Mini Reflex 03. I find it's got the most open vision when aiming down the sight, and it is very precise. Next up, we are going to use the VAS 5.56 suppressor. You could change that to the monolithic suppressor if you wanted to, but in all honesty, I do think the standard suppressor is good enough, and you'll see why in just a moment's time. So the 16.5-inch fusion barrel will be the barrel we're using, and this is why we're not using the monolithic suppressor, because this already gives us the damage range and bullet velocity without any cons, where the monolithic suppressor will give you some cons in terms of your aim walking steadiness and your aim down sight speed, which we don't want. Next up, the magazine. We're going to obviously want a larger round mag, especially if you're going for those higher kill games, so you want the 45 round extended mag. And then lastly, just to take out any recoil, there's not much in this weapon at all. I do use the recoil springs. So for the next loadout, we're going to look at the AK-27. I am going to tell you now, I hated this gun when I first started going for the camos, and now I absolutely love this weapon. It is literally my favorite weapon in the game, the most powerful, the most all-round good weapon once you've got the correct attachments on. As mentioned, rest of my loadout will be staying the same, so let's jump into the attachments we are going to be using. Now, we are going to be using the Lethal Tools ELO once again as the sight. Next up, for the suppressor, well, the muzzle, we are going to use the suppressor, the SWF Tashina 11. Like I said, we could use the monolithic suppressor like the previous weapon, however, there's too many cons on there. You're better off just either using the long barrel or the barrel velocity barrel, or even if you wanted to, the hybrid barrel. But in all fairness, I've stuck with the bullet velocity barrel. I put that on when I first started using this weapon. I've not changed it to the hybrid. You probably could use that just to give yourself that little bit extra damage range, but in all honesty, I find that the bullet velocity barrel is the perfect one for this weapon. For under barrel, we are going to be using the lateral precise precision grip, and then we are going to be using a magazine of 40 round mag, and this is arguably the strongest weapon. Now, some people might question why I am not using more than 5 attachments. I feel most weapons in this game you're probably not going to, especially the assault rifles as well. Now this weapon, so the third loadout, once again everything else is the same, but the Peacekeeper, even in the beta, was absolutely shocking, and the recoil on it was really bad. Now you do need to learn the recoil pattern. Yes, I agree, even with the attachments on, you'll still probably need to go in the firing range and figure out what the recoil pattern is to try and counter it with your analog sticks. However, once I changed a few attachments on this, I found this to be a very solid weapon, and we did actually manage to get it in gold camo in under like 500 kills or something like like that, which is really good. So the actual attachments we're going to be using then, so we are using the Mini Reflex 03. You'll see a familiar theme because this is the best sight as mentioned in the game. Then next up, we are going to use the compensator. Now, you might scratch your heads on this because, you know, if you guys have known me from, you know, early Call of Duty stages, I'm a huge advocate on making sure you are using suppressors, trying to keep off that minimap, trying to keep hidden so you can get the higher kills. You need to use the compensator. The KNS compensator literally knocks off a load of recoil that you're probably experiencing with the weapon. So you 100% need to go ahead and start using this as an attachment for this weapon until a later date if they may fix or change anything. It does improve your vertical recoil and control significantly. Then damage range and bullet velocity will be increased by the hybrid barrel. I feel that this weapon does need this on, as those longer range distances, the bullets do drop off quite a bit, so this is arguably the right barrel to have on. For the under barrel, I've literally just gone for the recoil control foregrip. We want to reduce the horizontal and vertical recoil control as much as we possibly can, so you definitely want to have the higher pros rather than the lower pros for this. And then lastly, this is always going to be a common theme in modern day Call of Duty. You do need an extended mag, and you're going to have to go for the 40 round obviously. Now, a few adjustments I would make for this. So if you wanted to go ahead and potentially have more attachments on this, I'll give you a few options I would recommend just to tidy the weapon up. So I would go for buffering springs on your fire mods, and I would also go for either rapid lock grip or your accordance grip, one of those two, and then I think you will have the perfect setup for this weapon. So for the next loadout then guys, we are going to be having a look at the Dravet 45. Now you guys would have probably leveled this up a little bit from the basic loadouts you can use right early into the game that are pretty much standard for everyone. Now everything else once again is going to be the exact same in terms of secondary field upgrades, perks, etc. But this weapon, I found it had a little bit of recoil, so we've had to tinker a little bit with this. And another good thing about this weapon, you don't necessarily need to increase the barrel length too much because it's got very good damage range. So we are going to use the Lethal Tools ELO once again. Then we're going to use the monolithic suppressor on this one because we do want that bullet velocity to increase a little bit and the damage range, but the range on this SMG is very good. For the magazine, we are going to go for the 48 round extended mag. We'll be having no barrel on this loadout at all. Rear grip, we're going to go for quick arm grip. It'll allow you to aim down sights, and jump aim down sight speed will increase quite significantly. And then lastly for the stock, we are going to go for the endurance low 6 stock. This will literally reduce, well, get rid of any recoil that were left in the weapon. It makes it a very smooth weapon to use. Now the fifth and final loadout for this video that we're going to have a look at is going to be the Razor. Now I've seen a lot of comments of people stating that this particular loadout is quite bad on recoil, but if you put the right attachments on, you'll soon see why it's a very good weapon. So for perks, we have slightly switched it up. Now I want to be stealthy, but I want to be quick and move around fast. So we're going to go for ninja so people can't hear us sneaking up on them. Fast stands so we can swap weapons faster if you did have a pistol on, and it does help with reloading, etc. as well. Dexterity, and then cold-blooded so we can't be seen by enemy score streaks, because let's face it, you are going to be running and gunning with a Razor. It's going to be more up close personal weapon. So for the attachments then, once again we have gone for the Lethal Tools ELO for the optic. Then we are going for the compensator, which will give you a lot of vertical recoil control decrease should I say. For the barrel, we're going to use the hybrid barrel so we do get that bit extra damage range and bullet velocity, because like I said, it's not very good at long range. We are going to go for a 40 round mag, and then lastly, just to clean off any additional recoil you may have in the weapon, we are going to have the recoil springs. Now these are my top 5 loadouts you guys should be using in Black Ops 7 currently since the launch of the game, so I would 100% recommend you guys using these, and let me know your feedback down below. But if you have enjoyed today's video, feel free to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a single video here on the channel. Don't forget to go check out G Fuel as well, who are one of my partners. If you use the code FP at checkout, you get yourself a cheeky 20% off. With all being said guys, thank you for tuning in. There'll be another video out later today, and as always, I'll catch you on the next video.